I love hybrid athletes. I think it's really cool to be able to lift heavy and run far. I don't want to be a hybrid athlete. For me, running's the most important thing. So I lift to support my running. Sure, I like putting on muscle or looking bigger and things like that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about me being better at running. When you're throwing in weightlifting and running, it's a lot on the body, and many people do it very well. And I've been lifting and running combined for probably 5 years now. I've had my seasons where I'm mostly just running. I've had my seasons with just weightlifting. And for the most part, I do both at the same time. And here's some of the things that I think can help balance that out, especially if you're leaning more towards I'm lifting to support my running. If you're not, hey, maybe you get something out of this. But for me, I have speed workouts to do. I have long runs. How do I combine all of these together to be effective, efficient, recover well, get the most out of my workouts? There's one key thing that I think has helped me because leg day is a part of lifting, right? And I think if you skip leg day, you got some work to do mentally because it's a tough day, just like any weightlifting day. But getting under a squat bar or like not being able to walk the same for 2 or 3 days, it's different, right? Like I love push day, I love pull day, I love leg day. And a lot of that is because I know that is important for me as a runner. I get so sad when I see people deal with the same injuries over and over again. They take time off for a couple months, they come back, get the same injury or a slightly different one. And I view that as the whole insanity definition, right? It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If you're a runner and you want to be healthy and you want to do this for a long time and you want to get the most out of your running, you got to stretch first off. But this is more about lifting. You got to have strength, right? For me as an ultra guy, I might take 20,000 steps in a run, like 50,000 steps or something like that for a 100 miler, right? I can't remember the exact numbers, but that's a lot. And the legs have to be able to endure that. And so when I got into running, doing these longer runs, I was able to get through it and I was able to walk, run. As I've gotten better as a runner and as I've implemented strength training, I've been able to sustain a pace longer or feel better after a run and not just be completely destroyed. So how do you do this? How do you balance this? One way to do this, I've experimented with a lot. I like just push-pull legs 3 days a week, not too much, but I lift heavy. And so when I have tempo workouts, it's not that big of a deal to do a tempo workout the day after a push day, right? Because that's upper body for me. So it's not going to really get in the way of running. It might be sore, but it doesn't like impact getting the most out of my tempo workout. Same thing with pull. Legs is different. And I actually like to lift like heavy, like to failure. I know there's a lot of running strength exercises out there for lower body that aren't too demanding, but I personally like that. And whether it's scientifically optimal or not, I don't know. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I do like to get to that point with squatting or quad extensions or hamstring curls. And so how do I balance lifting heavy and running far, and not just far, but fast for my tempo workouts? The thing that I read and like I think my uncle sent me an article and I was like, oh no, like duh, this makes sense, was doing your leg day after the tempo workout and typically in the afternoon or evening. So like let's say you do a tempo workout in the morning, whatever it looks like. Mine's on Tuesdays and Thursdays sometimes. But Tuesdays, then in the afternoon or evening is when I do my leg day. So I got the most out of my running. I was able to hit my splits or run hard and fast and get the benefits of that, recover a little bit, and then several hours later or a few hours later, doing leg day. And so yeah, maybe I'm not as strong as I would on fresh legs for a leg day, but to me this is about complementing my running and improving my running. So I don't view that as like the biggest deal. And then when I'm not running, or maybe I'm in a little bit more of an off season, I'm gonna lift heavy on my legs and just recover and get ready for my training block or my season. So I think that goes a long way. I think it was just for me, I mean, maybe this is like stupid, like everyone knows this, but I didn't. And so it just made sense that, hey, I'm going to do my tempo run in the morning on Tuesdays and lift leg day in the evenings or afternoon. And I mean, I could do it the day after too, but then I want to make sure I have enough recovery to get the most of my long run on Saturday. So time kind of gets in the way of that. And I found that this has helped me a lot because the biggest thing I'm concerned about is running, like I said. So hopefully you get something out of this, and hey, if you're like trying to do both, maybe there's a different philosophy, but I'm trying to become the best runner I can be, not the best hybrid athlete. So strength training is complementing my running. As much like in a different life, maybe that'd be cool to be a bodybuilder or something. I don't know if I'd want to get that big. But that would be fun to push the limits of weightlifting. That's not who I am and what I'm trying to do. So if it's different for you, you might have to find a different strategy. My name is Reese. I do running content, kind of some fitness stuff, but really I'm a runner. And so if you like that, this channel is about trying to avoid injuries, breaking PRs, having a better relationship with running. And I hope I get to see you in another video sometime soon. Peace.